Okay guys, so I got my 24mm socket for my transmission drain bolt. It goes right up in here. I tried to find the torque specs, and the really weird thing is everybody has different torque specs. I wasn't able to find an exact number to use. From what I got, it's like 20 foot-pounds, which is not a lot, but that's what I found. I'm gonna probably use that for now, and then if check for leaks when I fill it up. If there's any leaks, I'll probably tighten it more. So I'm just gonna clean up the area around it. There's a little bit of oil around it. I'm gonna clean it up with a paper towel. Then I'm gonna get the bolt installed, and then we'll go to filling up the transmission. Okay, so I got my oil. It's 75.90, and as you can see, I have my fluid transfer pump and a funnel with a long tube. So these are your choices to how to fill up the transmission. You can either use a fluid transfer pump or the funnel thing. If you want to use the funnel thing, you have to go through the top. I'll show you that in a second, how to set it up. For the fluid transfer pump, you can do it from the bottom. It's up to you because it'll work either way. Okay, so right under the car, if you follow the wire, you have your mount right here, and just follow it down, and you will have your fill plug right here. I've already took it off, but that's where the fill plug is. This is where you will put your hose in so you can fill the transmission up. Okay, so as you can see, I got the funnel in place. I leaned it right about here against the radiator hose, radiator fan, and right here, leaned it against that, and it goes straight down into the the fill plug. And this is how it looks from the underside. It just goes straight in without a problem. So what I'm going to do now is start filling up the transmission. An easy way to know that you're almost full is when the fluid starts seeping out through the fill hole. As soon as it starts seeping out, you know you're there. You can stop adding fluid. The thing is that you have to add it in small amounts so that you don't have fluid seeping out and still a ton of fluid going through. So that's the trade-off you have to do there. Or another thing you can do is if your finger isn't too big and you can fit it into the hole, like you use your pinky, you can put it in there and feel for the oil. Once you feel the oil, you know you're almost there. So I'll just start filling it up, and once I get that done, we'll go from there. I am pretty good with the gear oil. It's not seeping out yet, but I do still have the car on jack stands. So there is a slight incline, and when I put my finger in, I put it in and barely touch down, I already have the gear oil on it. So I know that once I get the car level, I'm gonna have what is recommended in there. So using a 19mm socket, I'm gonna get the filler bolt back on. I'm gonna hand tighten it just to make sure the threads are all right, and then I'm gonna tighten it with this. Okay, so the torque specs are going to be about the same as the drain bolt, about somewhere between 20 and 30 foot-pounds, so probably 25, and you'll be fine. And now that the drain bolt is on, I don't see any leaks anywhere from coming from the transmission. The car is almost ready to drive. There's just a few more things to take care of, which we'll get to. Okay, so in case you're wondering how much gear oil I went through, 5.4 pints is roughly equal to 2.7 quarts. I only have 3 bottles here because one of them was a little bit more than half full. Okay, so I'm going to quickly do is put on a different oil filter. That's still the oil filter that came with the car. I'm going to take that off and put this other one I got for it. Okay, so now that I changed the oil filter, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour some oil just very carefully over the top so that it doesn't have a dry start. So all this is well lubricated when I start it. I'm going to just a really quick line or two, then I'm going to put the lid back on, and I'm going to fill up the oil. Okay, so I connected the PCV valve, I poured in the oil like I said. I already started adding the oil, I've got about 2 quarts in. I'm going to quickly check what's up. Here's the dipstick right here, I'm going to check it out. Add enough oil till it's about half. Okay, so I added about 3.5 quarts, maybe just a little bit more. And I have it right in the zone, but the thing is I know that the oil filter is empty, so I might need to add a little bit more. So what I'm going to do right now is put the caps on to hold down the cover. I'm going to adjust the throttle a little bit because it's pretty loose. I'm going to adjust that a little bit and then we'll keep going.